Hi and welcome to the studio. It's Amanda here. Well, obviously you know. um, but just in case you don't, my name's Amanda and I'm a mixed media artist, and welcome to my, I was going to say sunny studio, but it's not sunny at the moment. We've just had some rain. Anyway, so I'm just about to get down to some work, and I just wanted to encourage you, for those people who are thinking to themselves, you know, there's so much that you've got to do in terms of the work, the creative work, to get things done, but you've been distracted, you have been putting it off, and what you're in danger of doing is having some urgent things crop up that you don't want to actually become urgent. So it's my way of encouraging you to get out of the position that you're in at the moment. So physically get up out of your chair, move around, do something different. And that's what I've just had to do. I told myself earlier that the thing that I was doing at that particular time was important. It is important, but it's not urgent. And so I thought, well, rather than go down this road, the day ends, and then you still feel disheartened that you didn't get the main thing done. And as I say, you know, this urgent and important thing is becoming even more, is like critical. And you've just got to break past the doubt that you may have. We all have doubt. We all struggle with doubt at times. You know, it doesn't matter how successful you are, that you will have times where you are not necessarily feeling on your game. And the difference between those who succeed and those who don't are that even though you don't feel on your game, you still show up and you still get stuff done. So this is, again, another way of encouraging you that when you're kind of sitting in one place, or, you know, you've got yourself focused on a particular thing, that you do need to shake yourself up, change your physical environment. And even if it is just to go out, get some fresh air, come back in, but change up your environment and maybe work from a different spot. So I found sometimes that I am working late on the computer at night, but there comes a time where I just can't focus. I'm just like, I will go to do some work, and then I will almost nod off. My eyes get tired. I mean, this is what we're talking about, 10:30, 11 o'clock. And so, you know, when you get up at 6, you are going to be tired. So maybe spending time on the computer is not the best way to spend, say, the last hour before you go to bed. And I know that. And so that's something I've got to deal with and do something about. So I really just wanted to encourage you that, you know, whatever you're doing, that thing that you want to be successful is achievable, but you have to change up your routine, change up what you're doing, because it's no point doing the same thing over and over again expecting different results. So with that said, we're gonna get on and do a journal page, and this is for me a way of getting back into my creative zone. I know I've got lots of lists of things that I want to do, and there's no point in having lots of lists. You've got to now put things into action, see which things are important, see what deadlines are. I mean, I'm looking at my monthly planner and I haven't updated it yet. And we're what, 6th or 7th of August? That's not good enough, is it? So yeah, we're gonna get on, and I'll do a few other things in the studio, and then I'll get on with the task that I'm dodging. I'm dodging a task at the moment, so I'm gonna get on with that. But first, this is not a distraction. This is to get me back into that creative state. Okay, so come along, let's get started. Okay, so a few days ago I made these mini journals, and they're literally just made out of cards. I had, this is a newsletter that I got through the mail, but the paper was quite thick. And I've added, it's just one signature I've stitched some and stuck in some as well, and then used washi tape just to go over the edges. And I've just been adding colour to the pages, and it's just an activity that you can do where you want to do something creative but you don't have time for a big thing. So as I said, I'm doing this activity to kickstart me back into gear, and so it is reminding myself what it is I really want to do. You know, I've been stuck behind the computer for most of the day, and I've not been productive. So getting back into what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do, I'll probably just add some colour to a page and then create an image. And I've just got these are just cheap water soluble crayons, and actually I'm not going to use these ones. I'm going to use my current, I've got some art bars in here, and they're Derwent art bars, and I've got some current aquarelle as well. So I'm going to, it's like treating yourself and using your nice supplies, even though this is just like a kind of everyday go-to journal, and it's something that I would normally use. I wouldn't normally use my really nice supplies in these. I'd use things like I've got some Reeves, and I just keep them in jars like this, and then I just pour them out when I'm ready to use them. So as I said, it's just a quick thing, and I'm just going to apply colour. Now, I haven't used these for quite a while, so let me just move these. These ones are called Sargent, and I got them at the local, what's it called, Woolworths? And for those of you in England, they closed down the Woolworths, but in Barbados, and I think in the Netherlands or Holland, there's still a store. So I'm just going to, on this page, use the art bars. And again, oh, these are very soft. I haven't used them in quite a while, and it looks as if some of them have melted and broken. That's the same colour. So those two, cyan, process cyan, yeah, okay. Let me put one of them out of the way, and this is process yellow and primary yellow. Okay, so these are two different ones, and they're just breaking. They're just breaking. I've had these, and it's, if I squeeze it, it's just squeezing in my hand. So I've had these for the longest, and that's one of the things that I want to kind of, sorry about that, it's one of the things that I want to just touch on. We can have these supplies that we put down. Now, I'm sure I'm not alone in this, and you say you don't want to use it because you want to save it until you do something nice. Now, you can see what I'm doing now. I'm just literally adding colour to the page. But you can sit on your supplies for such a long time that they end up either drying up, or like these ones, they were in a jar, they were in this jar, and they're not in the sunshine, but over the years, look at this, the green, I might have to put it in its own separate jar. Okay, so I've got this container with dirty water, which I need to change. But I'm just going to activate the colours and see how we get on. So the green is the one that was all melted and soft, and one of the things that I always do, so I'll just use this double spread, is when I've got a lot of paint on the brush, I will just put it on another piece of paper. So I'm not rinsing this out in the water, I'm putting it on another page, and then that becomes a background that I can work on that's already done. Yeah, and if you want to add more colour, you can. So just have to have this purple. So the colours that didn't come up as I thought were the blue, so I'm going to add some more of that, and the yellow. And as I speak, I'm being bitten, so it's that time of the afternoon. I thought I had, I've got this concoction of, it's broadleaf thyme, it was like a tea, I just made a tea, but I noticed that I hadn't been bitten as much as I usually am. Wow, it's just breaking in the paper, look at that. Oh. Okay. So the other way you might be able to use it, let me get a different brush, is adding water to the brush and then just taking it off like that, so that can work. So my blues and my yellow and my green have issues. Yeah, so I just put the broadleaf thyme in the water, and I've been drinking it like a tea. They've really had it, haven't they? You can just move them into there. And yeah, I hadn't been bitten as much as I normally would be, or that's how it felt. So I was thinking, oh, it must be the broadleaf thyme that's infused in my cells. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there like that, and on this page I'm going to add some, wow, some blue. I mean, it's not to say that the mosquitoes won't come up to you, but I hadn't felt myself being bitten as much as I would have done by this time of the day. So now I hadn't been in my studio, I'd been in the house around my computer. So anyway, so as you can see, just add in colour to the page, and on this page it was just started off by the excess paint that was on the page. So I'm going to add some red here, and the dog has decided to sit right behind me, right behind my chair, like he's a guard. Yeah, so this is it's a good lesson there, as you've seen. You know, colours that I thought were going to be fine. I mean, I can still use them, but they're not as firm as they would have been when I first got them, and I'm going to have to put them in a special container so that they, I'm just going to try and use that, yeah, so that I can use them in a slightly different way, but all I'm going to be doing is applying water to the brush and using it like that, because they're not going to be, I'm not going to be able to press down on them as I would have done in the past. So okay, right, so that's that page. I'm going to have to let that dry a bit, and whilst that's drying, what I'm going to do is use this one. So I normally have more than one going anyway. So this one I've done a couple of pages already, and it's literally just adding colour to the page. And in here I've got quite a few pages that are already done. And I was going to glue that one down, I think. Okay, let's just go here. So this has already got something on it. It looks like I was going to do some collage or something. Well, this is... yeah, this was... Anyway, so now I'm going to be using the Trought Aquarelle, and so we can see... we'll see how they've held up. So as I say, I've had these for quite a number of years. At least 10, and I'd been saving them. It's like, no, you can't use it for just anything, you've got to save them. And I don't know why I'm speaking like that. Anyway, so they just sat in the jar looking at me as I utilised other art materials, art supplies, and they stayed at the wayside. And it was just like, why are you not using, that's Sergeant, and I think this one might be as well, doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just like, what are you waiting for? The page hasn't been gessoed, so that might be another reason why they're not activating as quickly as some of the other supplies might. And I'm just going to take any excess again, as you've seen before. And then that page becomes ready for use without having to even think about whether you want, you know, what colours you want to add. Yeah, so this is really easy. And it's just about journal play. Just about playing in your journal. And what I'll do is work on the other page that I've just done, and then I'll come to a page like this that is just the residue of the colours, and I will create a page out of that as well. And it's just going to be a quick and simple one. Like, when you're going to get down to work. But this is all part of the, this is all part of it, I assure you. Okay, so okay, so we've got this. So I'll just be, no, I'm not going to be working on that. I'm going to be working on this, which is just the residue that, as you've seen, as I've activated the colours, I've just added the excess onto there. Okay, so the other one's ready now. So this is ready. So what I would normally do is start off with the shape of a face. and I haven't used this for a while either. This is my graphite, water-soluble graphite, and I can just feel something here. Again, just simple. She's thinking about what she has to do, and let's put her by the sea. So we're going to have to change some of this. So again, when you're creating, you know, you might, like I've just quickly done this girl, and I'm saying that she's going to be by the sea, so we'll see how that goes. This reminds me of some mountains there, and so if this is the horizon and this is the sea, you would have some shadow there. I'm going to do a large sunshine there, and then you'll see like the reflection of the island in the water. So this is where my gesso comes, and what will hopefully happen is that because I haven't activated all the colour, that some of it will lift up when I apply the gesso, and I'll just use that to my advantage as well with the water-soluble crayons. Like that. It's a bit muddy, isn't it? But I'll go over that again. Okay. So it's not really lifting off, but there you will be able to see some of the colour underneath, which is really what I want. I don't want to be adding a lot of again, it's just a quick play, and again, it doesn't have to be finished, so don't give yourself those additional stresses that you haven't got time to finish. It doesn't need to be finished, you just need to start. So I'm not applying too much gesso. Just enough. To activate the water-soluble graphite. Now her hair, what am I going to do? I'm going to use the purple and just go over lightly. I'm not going to do it too heavy, I'm just going to go over it lightly, and I'm going to use the gesso as well rather than water to activate. So some of it will come up, but you'll also see some of the green, the other colours underneath. Now Often I'd look at these videos and you'd see exactly what I'm doing here with this small brush. Be like, why don't they just use a bigger brush? And so I'm using this brush now just for a bit more control, and I don't want to add too much to the brush so that it gets out of my control. Now that's something that I can stick down. It's where I stitched the journal. Okay, so you can see some of the purple and you can see some of the other colours underneath, the green and such, and that's fine. And the other thing I'm going to do is just go over the areas where I want there to be, like we can see here, the island, and it goes here as well. And then what I need is some of the blue up here. Wow, it's just cracking away. I'm just taking the gesso and the other thing is it helps you take your time. In this fast-paced life, yeah? Yeah.
So you're going to cook for today for Monday?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to get some lunch.
Some lunch?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm serving. There's nothing new. So we just want to get us some of the things that
Oh, you shut the door? Okay. Here you go. It's not looking too good. Too bad. It's not looking too good. So even though we added colour, we're now, you know, that was for our background, and I find that the gesso also helps mute, as you can see, some of the colour that is here now. Okie dokie. So as I say, we don't need to finish, but this would be a nice place to stop. And let me just wet my brush. I want to get a bit of the blue up. Okay. So think about the kind of materials that you've got and think about how you're utilising them, and giving them a new lease of life. I can't go too hard on this paper because it's some of it is not water soluble. It's not watercolor paper. It's just ordinary, like, you know, ordinary paper that is not supposed to be used for this kind of thing. And so, yeah, you can't do too much in terms of, you know, rubbing or meddling. Oh, that came up. Meddling with you know, where you know you should stop. Okay, I think I should stop now and let that dry. So that's and the sunshine is, ooh, lovely. Yeah, so that's, like, you know, we just played a bit. Haven't added the sun. I think that's fine. And this could also be a page. What I like doing sometimes is doing pages like this and then doing some journaling in it, and that might actually be what I use this book for. So doing a bit of journaling alongside some of the imagery, because I don't normally do that in my art journals. I usually keep it all separate. I think I want some light blue. Like there. Like that. Yeah, so I'm going to let that dry, and as I said, promised that I'm going to go to this other page. So that just took, what, 10-15 minutes? Okay, so I'm going to do something with this. So I just go with what I feel, and I'm using, this is a carbon pencil, and all my figures usually have some drop earrings, courtesy of Realityarts. She's got her eyes shut as well because she's thinking, how could you only do me with half a head? And I'm going to be using the Trought aquarelle, and again I just play with the colours, just add colours where I feel. I normally kind of add them in similar places, so you know, so it's kind of balanced. And I think it's because this page is kind of just half small page, and then it's got this thing here, this piece of paper. Okay, I'm using my small brush for this, and I'm just going over her. There's a big fly in here. And again, you don't have to finish. This could just be like the first layer or beginnings of a painting. But as I said, I like working quickly in some of my journals because it's like I just need that kind of kickstart to get me into the mood of the other things that I want to do, and that I feel that I need to do, because nothing is, you know. Now this graphite carbon isn't waterproof, isn't water soluble. She's getting green hair. Oh dear. It's like, what are you doing? Why have I got green hair? It can be whatever you want, yeah? Now the more you do this, the more you play like this, the better you'll get. And again, I've got excess paint on my brush, so it goes over to another page. Yeah, and these are just for you, you know, it doesn't, you're not kind of have to do an exhibition of them. You're just playing, or again using it as a journal page that you can write in at a later time. I don't like being activated and then gone over again with the water-soluble crayon, which is fine. What I'm going to use now is a bit of gesso, and I'll go over some of the bits that I've done, only because I want to add some colour, but some more colour, but just add it in a, just clear up, because around here I had added some black pen, and the colour that I had on the page wasn't covering it up as I'd wanted it to. So I'm not kind of caking it in gesso. Again, these pages are going to be gone over, and I want you to, if you're the kind of person who says, no, I've got to finish it, I can't walk away and leave it, that's going to be your exercise, to start something and not finish it. Because the excuse that we give ourselves, have I been out of focus all this time? Sorry about that. The excuse we give ourselves is that we don't have enough time, and so we don't start. And so I want you to start and not finish. Yeah, that's the exercise. To start something and to leave it for the next day, or leave it for a few hours and then come back. And to practice working with short time, because you know, sometimes you've got 10 minutes and you think, well, what am I going to be able to do in 10 minutes? And what you're going to be able to do is just like what I did, lay down colour. You can lay down colour on the page and then come back and then work on it. There we go. And for some reason I'm feeling purple in the background. Well, this is, I'm saying purple and I'm picking up blue. It's because I was looking at a art bar, purple art bar. So I'm just going to add just around the edges, that's what I'm feeling. And let us activate that with water. There we go. Now you can do this with different supplies. You know, start, add colour, add, it could be a collage. Could be using acrylics, any kind of art supplies. The thing that I was just thinking of was I was thinking of clay. Now I wouldn't do this with clay because you know, like start stuff, it's because it's not as quick and easy as this. You can't just, you know, let me just do one small thing with the clay and then leave it. I find it a bit more involved, but these are just right for this kind of activity where you're just quickly adding, and you can come back, or you can write, or you can, you know, it's literally just prepping the page for your use. And in the process you might end up with something that you really like. So don't think about it as I'm creating something, I've got to create something that looks a particular way, otherwise I'm not going to like it. It's not what I'm saying that you do, but you will be surprised at the results when you just, you know, just do something. So I never had this before. I never had this. Let me just go over with, you know, it was just a piece of paper. It was just a piece of watercolor paper that didn't have anything on it but a bit of scribbles, and now it's got an image and a feel to it that is a feel that makes you want to do more. But I have to remind myself that one of the reasons why I'm here is just to kickstart that, give myself a kickstart, because there's some other work that needs to be done that I was being distracted from, that now needs to be done. I love playing about with this though. And it's going to do that, and as I said, it doesn't have to be finished. I'm not really going to be finishing it. It's just right. So either there we go. Quick and simple. It's like another 10 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes page. So there you go. I've got 2 pages. that I've done in a very short space of time. I've, you know, played with colour first of all, and then added the image, and it's something that I'm going to come back to, and I will maybe not, because this is probably something that, as I said, you know, it'll be a journal page that I will be able to write in. And so what I'll probably do is, when they're complete, what you'll probably see is some individual exercises in here, and then once it's all complete and full, I'll do a flip through, and then you can see them. I just love making journals, and you know, I don't necessarily make the journal to its full completion, so this is still not necessarily how I think I want it. I want it with something else on it, and but I like the size of it, so it's the right size, and this one's a bit smaller in width, but it's got, yeah, smaller pages. So I'm just going to allow those to dry, and as I said, yeah, I'll probably be showing you some more exercises in these journals, especially the ones to kind of kickstart your creativity, and when you're just feeling kind of like you need to do something, and just like I needed to do something so that I could get on with the main work. So I hope you found that interesting, and I hope you now go and, you know, look at your supplies in a different way and see how you can make the most of the time that you have and do something creative. Okay, take care for now. See you soon.